Yo, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing some more Matsuribayashi. Today we are in for some pretty cool stuff because we've recently finished, you know, the Kaketatsumugi arc, and we've also seen Hanya actually transfer in the school, which is definitely not something I was expecting to see yesterday. I think one of the first things I said when I saw her transfer is, what the fuck are you doing here? How are you here? Yeah, basically, it was really unexpected. And yeah, I'm really excited today to actually just not only see what happens, because the thing is, we left off last time when she actually began playing in the club. So yeah, you really want to, like, is it going to go well? Is it going to, you know, go the opposite of well? Who knows? Yeah, I'm really excited to actually sort of see what happens today. And yeah, it's going to be really fun. So let's continue. Yep, let's go on our save. It feels really weird to be going on this save menu instead of the fragment save menu, because we'd always normally go on there, but no. Here we are, let's play. So, here we go. Oh god, they're playing Hat. Oh my god, hang on a second, I forgot how fun this is going to be. They're playing the card game that they've all memorised the cards on. Oh my god, that's going to be fun. I wonder if she actually knows the cards because of how much she sort of, you know, I don't know, been like a silent spectator to the friend group, I suppose you could say. Here, I'll call your hand from the right, okay? Ace, 3, 4, 7, Jack and Queen. Oh god. Yeah, I think she's in a little bit of a disadvantage. That's just like, you know, a slight observation from these pathetic eyes. It's too late to hide now. Oh no. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry, Hanya-chan. This is the Eight of Spades, right? Then she's just what that one person who pretends they're really nice, but you know, they are actually a snake in reality. I'm out. Oh boy. Wow, do you get it, Hanya? This is the exam for our club. She really needs to get on the board. What she needs to do is she needs to subtly carve, I don't know, just sort of nail marks into the cards without them noticing. That is how you probably win this, because then they'll mistake stuff. That's what Keiichi did, if I remember correctly. Meat. Keiichi is putting his leftover grudge from his own entrance exam into the grave. Yeah, definitely. Come on, Keiichi-chan. Are you sure you should be saying things like that? Hanya, take Keiichi-chan's card on the back. Oh my god. I hope this is a trap. That would be really funny. But if it isn't though, bruh, she is mean. Huh? I'm done. Damn, so she wasn't actually joking. He kind of deserved that though, to be fair. What? That's not fair. Fair enough, yeah. Okay, I'm dead serious now. That's always their excuse. That's always their excuse. How dare you make me mad? Are you sure? What the hell? Oh my god. Honey, do you want to go home on a leash wearing shorts with... Yeah, on your first day. My. I think you would have better. Yeah, you can't get away with bullying people. You are gonna get it even worse. I don't know. I'm not gonna comment. I think it would be funnier if Katie did. I don't know. Maybe it'd be funnier if Hanya did it though, because she's never done it, so it'd be really embarrassing. Yep, that somehow doesn't surprise me. Yes, and I'm gonna take him home with me. That concerns me. I'll make him do that punishment. Yes, that's the right mindset. That's a great idea. I'm in too. Damn. If Mion's in, you know shit's got serious. Here you guys, what are you picking? Fair enough, why are they picking you in? What about dinner? Fine then. I'm gonna make all of you do it. He is too confident. He is way too confident. I just hear the commotion from inside. Well, outside even. I love this. Oh, I don't love the fact that it's ended. Come on, man. I want to play more. I actually really didn't expect that. Yeah, we're probably going to go to the end of the next chapter. Why the fuck not? Right. Yes, okay. Okay, good. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So I think it's going to be like, I wonder if this is Takuno's lot. It's got the mystery music, but I don't know. Katie, I hope he's the guy for the punishment. I hope he is. He kind of deserves it. Okay, this is the banquet section. Can you hear me? One more speech and then we'll move on to a toast. Are you ready? Oh, is this the alumni part that Takuno was in? I think this is. This is the back end. We're ready. We can't hear anything from inside, so please give us a cue when the speech is finishing up. 10 bottles per table, okay. I think this is the alumni party, yeah. Make sure you serve your tables smoothly. Young waiters with bow ties got a bottle of beer ready for a toast. Oh, fair enough. Very smart. Oh, interesting. Hang on a second. So is this the criminal base underground? Or is this the alumni part? Just because of the background, I think it may be the criminal base, because we saw that last time. There are several dozen tables with white tablecloths on them in the banquet room. Yeah, that would be the alumni part, though. That would explain that. Approximately 8 people were sitting at each table, so there were at least a few hundred people there. The banquet room is teeming with excitement. Yeah, several dozen was. Isn't a dozen a 12? A 12th? I don't know, let's say. I don't know. I wish they gave us an actual number, so we could actually, like, sort of do the maths to exactly how many people would be there. You could estimate, but I can't really be asked to do that. Approximately as well, yeah, you'd have to do a lot of estimation. There are many plates with different kinds of food on each table. Oh my god, lucky. This is Japan as well, they're going to do a lot of good food, I'm sure. A sushi platter, a sashimi platter, a fruit platter. Oh my god. Wow. Also, along the wall, there are cooks ready to serve fresh sashimi. Damn. Oh, that's nice. All the guests appear to be well-mannered gentlemen, and obviously they are notable people from different fields. Yeah, definitely. The huge and beautiful chandelier above them clearly tells that this hotel... Oh, it's a hotel. Right. Was the status good enough for those famous people? Yeah, definitely. I wonder if this is going to be Hihime. An elderly gentleman is giving a long speech on the stage before making a toast. Oh, nice. I wonder if it's the political speech we saw before. Usually people don't like such long speeches, especially if it's before a toast. Oh. But I guess they're actually excited with this speech. Well, maybe further was a pleasant way to put it. Oh right. It was probably more accurate to say that their excitement was bizarre. Anyway, Japan accepted the demand from Oh, interesting. Anyway, Japan accepted the demand for unconditional surrender, and the day they did, the Pacific War ended. What's the Pacific War? Interesting. In other words, even if they had to take care of further business, the war ended that day according to international law, and from that day on, there was peace. Yeah. Therefore, if any troops invaded Japanese land during that peace, that would be encroachment against Japan. What is encroachment? And I'm not assuming it's where cockroaches invade. Oh god. Oh, intrusion on a person's territory rights, etc. No matter what the Soviet Union says, Soviet Union, yeah. The Northern Territory is a Japanese land, so it should be clear to everyone that they invaded illegally. Oh, interesting, so... hang on a second, when they say... interesting. Hang on a second, so they were actually attacked after the war ended. I didn't realise that. Hang on a second, when was the Pacific War? I don't really know this. So it was in World War II. Right. Oh, interesting. So it was in 1941. 8th of December, 1941. Interesting, I didn't realise that. So what actually is the Pacific War? I just got to sort of read up on this a little bit. Find anything. I don't really want to click on any websites, I just want to sort of see if I can find anything like summaries that could be useful, but nah, not really. Here. Oh, yeah, these people definitely don't like the Soviets, it looks like. And now they want to settle by returning a mere 2 islands to us? Who do they think they're kidding? Listen, Habomai, Shikotan, Kunoshi, Itarup, Japanese territory. Alright. Shikotan, Habomai. That sounds like Japanese. Kunoshi, or whatever. Itarup, those aren't Japanese words, I'd assume. Of course they're not. They can't be. Or maybe they are, who knows? I don't know. Their total area is equal to an entire prefecture. Damn, so that is actually really big. What would you think if the Soviets invaded and occupied one of our prefectures? Would you settle just for getting half of the prefecture back? Oh, that's interesting. Right, so I suppose it was because... what was it? They invaded 2 regions, wasn't it? What was it? So the Northern Territories. Right, so interesting. So I'm assuming that because the 2 countries they want to get back is just equivalent to half a prefecture, they want the entire prefecture back, so they want 4 countries. Is that it, or is there something more that I'm sort of missing? Because I don't really know, I've never really heard about this before. No, you wouldn't. You'd have the entirety returned to you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Soviets are brazenly sitting there claiming vested rights to the land. This is no joke. We must strongly oppose this to the bitter end. Interesting. Yeah, that's fair enough. So hang on a second, the northern territory the Soviets invaded that was actually in Japan. Or maybe it was in northern Russia, I don't know the geography of it, but the north of somewhere. Assuming that's the sort of equivalent to the other half that they're not giving back. So I'm assuming that they assume that the parts they have invaded aren't actually Japanese land. Or maybe it's just because it's not geographically in Japan that gives an exception or something like that, I don't know. Those are just guesses, by the way, I don't know at all. Please don't kill me. Return all the northern islands. Our nation must demonstrate unwavering resolve on that point. Die. Right. Thunderous applause filled the banquet room. Interesting. All the gentlemen agreed and expressed that they felt the same way by cheering him on. Yeah, interesting. Oh, interesting. So that's a real bad conflict. So the Soviets are actually believing that the land they invaded is Japanese land, their land, whereas there's obviously conflict because the other side beg to differ. Oh god, that kind of scared me. I did not hear that music. I did not expect that music to change. In all that hubbub, I love that. Oh, piss off. What? You've got to be kidding me. So, right, so my audio's gone. Oh god, right, this is kind of annoying, sorry. What? Wait, hang on a second, what? Where did my audio go? Oh, shit. Sorry about this, guys. I don't know what's happened. What? There is no way I shouldn't be... Wait, hang on, no, I'm going to the wrong sound control panel. Right. No, that's not... Where's the sound mixer? Yeah, there we go. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, it's not muted. So my earphones have just stopped working. Oh, God, I fucking hate Bluetooth. Right. Looks like I'll have to use wired things. I can't really be bothered to... Well, I would be bothered, but, like, I don't want this video to drag on forever just because of stupid tech issues, so, yeah, I'll just... Right, there we are. Right, hopefully it should be back now, but, yeah, obviously I've got different earphones. That's really odd though, my earphones never made any sort of indication that they were dead, so, yeah, I think it must have just been some weird technical problem. I can't really solve it now, so, yeah, I'll solve it tomorrow. But, yeah, how's that? Yeah, sorry about that. Right, yeah, there we are, fine. Right, in all that hubbub, there were two people standing by the wall who didn't seem to fit in with the rest. Oh, interesting. I wasn't actually expecting them to be young men. So this isn't Takono's law. Right. Or maybe this is Hifumi's law. Maybe this could be Hifumi and Koizumi. Who knows? Oh, right, interesting. So this is the police. Why do politicians always tend to lean right or nationalist? It'd be so opposite. Number of words I have no clue what the fuck these means. I mean, I suppose this is lean to the right wing of the political parties, I suppose. Nationalist, be so obsessed with the country, I don't know. Partisan. Maybe that's the opposite of nationalistic, like giving your country less power so other countries get a fair share or something like that. I don't know, that's my guess. Yeah, Zaka. Interesting. That's simple. What politicians want most of votes? Yeah, for real, yeah. And votes are cast by their constituents. But not everybody over 20 actually votes. Yeah. Why are there vocals in this song? Like, seriously. I'm actually going to see if I can switch this. I really don't like this. I'll just see what the other one sounds like. Wait, is it F10? Oh, it's the same one. Right. Didn't expect that. Okay, that's fine. I just don't really like that there's vocals in it. Voter turnout is highest amongst those who are retired and have free time. That's actually really interesting, I didn't realise that. And to be fair, this is literally 1940s, I assume. Or maybe this is actually after the police sort of victory that everybody had. But God, Akasaka is really brave for speaking out in front of like a massive crowd of hundreds of people. I'm assuming everybody in this sort of party is part of the police. So the elderly interest in politics monopolise the votes. Yeah, fair. And that means the key to the election is whether or not they can secure the elderly vote. Oh, interesting. And I suppose that's why they're sort of... That would be really interesting, so I suppose that's why they're sort of... I suppose in Russian sort of terms, like, that's why the people there, with their land, they're trying to take control of Japanese land. It's just because if they get that and the old, really nationalistic people bind to it, then they're going to want to vote more, and they're going to feel that the country is safe in that person's, in that party's hands. Or politician. Yeah. The war only happened 40 years ago. Yeah, this is definitely not in the war now, so this is a debate that happened after the war. In other words, the generation that's interested in voting is the generation from before the war. Yeah, interesting, yeah. Let's see if I can get... I'll see what this BGM here sounds like, because I don't want the vocals, man. They're just really distracting when trying to read. See if this one's without it, anyway. My mother talks about air raids often. She used to live more at Matsuribayashi, and she lost all of her family in an air raid. Jesus Christ! She had to walk across all the burnt fields all alone. Jesus! Oh God, that is awful. That really is awful. That's right, our parents went through the war. Yeah, they shed their blood, sweat and tears, believing it was for the good of the nation. Yeah, exactly. Oh God, so especially because of parts of the nation that they believe has sort of been occupied by Russia. That's definitely going to add strength to why they want their land back. But the only thing is the Russians are going to be thinking the same. I mean, if anything, like, the war in the Russian winters, especially when the Americans came over, fucking hell, that must have been horrible. That was really, really bad. We lost the war, but yeah, definitely. But they believe the war was still more about change that serves as a foundation for the peace we have today. It's really sad to think, but it's true. There were so many medical advances thanks to the war. There really were. I think it was the splint was actually the splint for whenever you have a broken leg. Like instead of, I think it was just so the bone could actually be sort of placed in one, and I think that would be especially useful on stretchers. Like because if you're stretching somebody, if you're on a stretcher through a trench, that's gonna shake a shit ton. So things like that would be really handy. There was also this one thing where I think there was a bit of research that helped people that had bits of shrapnel actually sort of stuck in their brain. I don't know if that I might have got that wrong or something. It just doesn't really sound like something that could possibly happen, but I don't know. Some sort of brain surgery related thing. Psychosurgery was a thing here, I suppose. I don't know though. Oh, I hear that a lot. That if Japan hadn't fought in the war, the Asian countries would still be Western countries, or colonies even. Oh, there was no way we could have won, but we needed to fight in that war or something like that. Yeah, interesting. In that case, no matter how much they preach pacifism, pacifism is the will against war. Politicians can't ignore the pre-war generation. Yeah, so I'm just gonna... Why am I searching up the definition of pacifism? I know what pacifism is. And then I just see Japan about to ditch pacifism. That's the first thing. God. Yeah, the belief that war and violence are unjustifiable. I remember there was this one comedy I watched, it's called The Young Ones, if you have ever seen it. That this guy, he literally, I mean, he's gonna get a job in the army for a joke, and he says, I'm a pacifist, and then he gets thrown out. I mean, he's really exaggerated, but still, it is kind of funny, that. Yeah, they definitely can't ignore the pre-war generation. War is bad and we should never again fight a war. Agreed. But that war was necessary. Also agreed, yeah. Akasaka is very mature. Good for him. Unless they say things like that, it's like they're denying the very lives that that generation lived. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I see. Politicians have to work hard to earn votes hard. Yeah, definitely, but yeah, it's part of the job, especially having such a high position. But so, I just want to sort of try to understand this, so, oh, that's a shame, there's still vocals, but like, anyway, the whole pacifistic related things, so I'm assuming that even though Russia have sort of got a piece of land that Japan think is theirs, they actually don't want to sort of use any war-related means just because of the peace that they sort of willed to take after the war. You do really find it surprising that Japan was a country that vowed to take peace. I mean, God, they got the worst of it. The nuclear bomb, fucking hell. Nobody else got a nuclear bomb. If anything, could you imagine if they continued the war like 10 years or something, or maybe even a year or 2 or 3 or 4, or maybe even 5, who knows. I don't want to think about it, but like still. It would have been a very interesting sort of butterfly effect if you know. Oh, well, it would be one thing if they were truly proclaiming their own beliefs, but many of them are simply saying that to get elected. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. So I've just thought, are they talking about oh. So I think they're talking about the guy that was just talking. As long as there are politicians trying to win over what remains of the pre-war generation, this country's post-war era will never end. That's fair enough. And you do wonder if because of that, Tokyo could have potentially thrived. But at the same time, this is in the 1980s, 40 years after the war ended. So yeah, maybe it could be after Tokyo's decline. If anything, this is when it would be happening. It's interesting that Akazaka was in this sort of part. I wonder if Takano was also here. No, she wouldn't have been. Feels like 10 years ago, sure. Or maybe even 5, I don't know. No, maybe 7. Let's say 8, I don't know. That's how the ghosts of the war will pass their will on to the next generation and keep things the same for the next millennium. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I hope it's definitely not as bad as that, but yeah, we've definitely seen this with the Tokyo related thing, yeah. They'll just keep repeating that the war was justified yet regrettable every time an election takes place. Oh, interesting. When will our country ever be free from that cycle? That is fair enough. You can't just kill all the people, because that'll start another war probably. And obviously, you know, like a million other things, but I was just kidding anyway. Of course I wouldn't think that seriously. It's simple. Young people need to vote. Yeah. Don't be fooled by war stories. Vote for those actually pushing politics. Policies even. Yeah, fair enough. Realistic policies, that is. Yeah, interesting. So with this whole sort of policy thing, I'm assuming a lot of people are sort of just saying things that are trying to get the votes, and other ones are probably saying stuff to get the votes as well, let's be honest, but they're actually going to do things. They're actually gonna... They're not just in for personal gain, they're in for the gain of everyone. Dude, that is the warmest water I have ever drank. Like, seriously, that is disgusting. Yeah. There are a few who talk about some pretty unrealistic things. Akazaka-san, isn't that the F table? Fuck. Lamau, that's so funny. There she is. Let's go. Oh, I wonder who they're talking about. The speech had ended and the elderly gentlemen were giving the man on the stage a standing ovation. What's an ovation? I'm not assuming it's a beating. Oh right, a sustained and enthusiastic show of appreciation from an audience, especially by means of applause. Right, okay. That's nice. two men, oh, the two men walk through the crowd and approach an old lady in kimono. Who this is going to be? Yes? That'll be me, but who are you? You've got to be kidding me. That sounds like Dina. It can't be. I made an appointment with you on the phone yesterday. Okay, just because of that, I don't think it is, but just because of how big the sort of position would be. If you need to make an appointment to see somebody, then they are definitely high in the books. I'm Akasaka. Right, who's this going to be, I wonder? Oh, interesting. Mm. Oh God.
主人はね、ずっと日本のためにと身を粉にして働いてきたんですのよ。
Oh no! Shit! Is this one of the people that have sort of lost a person in the war? Ooh, hick. Yeah, I definitely don't do it as good as they do. I would not be a very good voice actor. My husband works so hard for this country. Even so. Madam, I understand what you're going through. Yeah. This wasn't really just anything out of the ordinary. Nobody could remember if there had been a donation or not. So a handful of politicians were questioned. A donation for what, though? Oh, hang on a second. So is it like a donation for some sort of charity research thing? Or is it maybe a donation for this person, support for this person after losing their husband? Who knows? Well, that wouldn't happen. This is too old of a time for that to happen. I think that's more like 21st century thing. In some aspects, the world definitely does get nicer in the 21st century. For things like that, I'd assume that would be the case. But it's still very rare, even if that is the case. So a handful of politicians were questioned. As a result, some came up with a scheme to blame a sickly, elderly man who had already retired. Oh God. Oh God, that's awful. With only a short time to live anyway, he was the perfect fit for them. Jesus Christ. That's insane. Oh, and I'm assuming these people were actually... And I'm assuming they're gonna... Oh God, they're probably gonna have to question the wife, aren't they? The elderly man had already been sick in bed, and the shock of his friends betraying him. Oh God, so these people were his friends. Jesus Christ, and the shock of his friends betraying him and taking his will to live away. God. That is so... Oh God, that must be... I'm not even going to go into it. That must be just... really bloody difficult. The only thing his wife could do was simply watch him suffer. She kept crying while telling him... Oh God, she kept crying while telling the men about her husband's achievements. Oh, so... Oh God, so... Yeah, Akasaka need more. What's he actually called? I should probably learn this. Nimi. Right. It's like Imi, but with N. Imi means meaning in Japanese, by the way. That must be... I mean, the thing is, like, she's probably really, really upset because, you know, her husband's on deathbed and she has to abide and she has to go through legal shit because of people blaming her. But they don't know that he's been blamed. Oh, it's just so horrible. If your husband is in fact innocent, a judge will rule accordingly. Don't worry. All false accusations will be cleared. Yeah. I hope so. But the only thing is, these people are politicians. They are very skilled liars. That's my only concern.
そんなのは分かっています。
I already know that.
だって無
Because he
実
is
なんです
innocent.
から。
Yeah.
でもね、判決が出るまで主人は持たないんです。
Oh god. Oh my god. So, hang on a second.
お
Oh.
国のために
You
と
go so far with this country,
あれ
and
だ
this
け
is what he gets
働いて
returned in the end. Yeah.
こんな気持ちで死ねなんてあんまりじゃないですか。あれじゃあ
How can he
死ん
miss
で
me?
も死にきれませ
Oh
ん。
god, that is actually. That is fair enough. That is horrible. Oh god, I can't believe that though. So he's so sickly and terminally ill that he won't actually live to see the verdict of his illness or illness. I mean, well, I suppose you could say illness with corrupt politicians trying to make his status completely diminished and trying to make him a criminal. Oh yeah, Akazaka nodded and tried to find the right words to say to her. His colleague rummaged through a pile of paperwork behind him. Oh god, that must be so hard. Come on, Akazaka, he can do it though, I'm sure. I hope he can. The papers were filled with fine print, and it would be hard for an onlooker to tell exactly what they were. Oh. However, the way he was looking at them made it very clear that it contained something important. Interesting, so I wonder if this could potentially be legal records and just financial transaction related records. Who knows?
赤坂さん、
Akazaka-san, this
こい
is
つはすごい資料です。
amazing.
金の動
This
きが
shows exactly
完
how
全に
the
網羅さ
money
れてま
was
す。
moved. Oh, so is this some sort of money laundering related thing? Akazaka gave him a signal to remind that this wasn't the place to be looking through those documents. Yeah, fair.
Oksan, この他には
No.
書
There
類
isn't
束のよう
any
な
more
ものは
paperwork, is
あり
there?
ませんね。
No.
ええ、主人の金庫に入っていた文書は
Oh,
So they
oh,
did
right,
全てです。
interesting. So these were the things that they found in his safe, right?
どうかそれで
Please use it to get back at those ungrateful
恩知らずな
bastards.
連中に
Oh, yeah.
一泡吹かせてやってください。
Yeah, hang on a second. So if they know exactly how the money was moved, and this person knows what these politicians have done, then yeah, I suppose they can get back at him.
あれだけ主人に世話になっておきながら
Oh god, that's the worst. My husband did so much for them, and yet they. I'm just really surprised, honestly. I genuinely am.
Oksan,
Madam,
この文章
you
の
do
内容に
understand that
は
some things in these documents will
一部
implicate him, don't you?
ご主人にとって不利益な内容も含まれていますが、それはご存知ですね。
ええ、
Yes, I understand that.
それは分かっています。
Implicate is like. Oh, interesting. Show to be involved in a crime. Right. Interesting. Damn, that is actually a really, really big risk that this person is taking, but I wonder if this... She really is taking a risk though, and good for her. I mean, So I'm assuming the husband could have potentially done crime, and yes, I understand that. But the husband could have potentially done crime that maybe might have some connotations to her, or maybe she wasn't one of the people that did it. Who knows? Yes, I understand
政
that.
治はね
One can't be honest all the time when one is a
綺麗事
politician.
だけじゃないんです。
Oh, interesting. So this is the wife of a politician.
私だって
I am his wife after all.
政治家の
Yeah.
妻ですのよ。
ご協力を感謝します。
Thank you for your cooperation.
この書類は
I will
必
use
ず
these to expose
巨
the
大な不
injustice
正
that
を
was
暴
done
くた
to
めに
him.
使用します。
Oh, that's really quite something.
一つだけ、
Only one thing.
一つだ
May I
け
ask you just
よろ
one
しいですか？
thing, though?
それを公
Do
表
you
す
wait
る
until
の
my husband passes?
主人が亡くなるまで
Why
待っ
would...
てもらえませんか？
Could you wait until my husband passes away before making this public? So I wonder why this would actually happen though, because if the husband passes away, never knowing that he was actually innocent in the whole bigger picture of things, then yeah, like she said, is he ever going to rest in peace? I wonder why she'd actually want that. The paperwork Akasaka received was something her husband had intended to take to the grave with him. Oh, damn. Oh, so that actually makes sense though, yeah. So if the husband actually, if the wife was actually sort of found to be sort of guilty of stealing the paperwork, then I don't really think she could be busted for anything, but she could definitely be, oh my god, just the thoughts that not only his friends as the politician, but wife has also betrayed him. Yeah, that'd not be very good, let's just say that. Something that shouldn't exist in this world. Oh god. If it went public, her husband's name would be disgraced. Oh, right. I really do wonder if this is going to go public after it's dead, or if it's ever going to go public at all. Gosh, this is definitely a very corrupt politician that sort of, you know, appeared like all of these ones are. To sort of restore post-war Japan, really. And have the nationalism and patriotic vibes that the country did have. And acknowledge the war and stuff like that. Akasaka nodded.
わかりました。
I understand.
Scott
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you have my
お
word.
約束します。
Yeah, no, it's definitely not somebody who would lie. Oh shit! Vast public funds were moving from Kasumigaseki. Kasumigaseki. I wonder what the kanji for that word is. I suppose seki could be like, I don't know. I know seki is like a... Seiseki is grades, and then, what's it? Yuseki or seki? I can't remember. Oil in Japanese. Ka could be like fire, I don't know. Sumi could be a corner. What could that be? I don't know. I'm just really guessing at this point. I've never heard of that word, obviously. Right, so this is going to be interesting. So, vast public funds are moving from Kasumigaseki. What is Kasumigaseki? Does it exist? Kasumigaseki is... Is it a... Oh, that's interesting. So it is the land of the bureaucrat. Right. Oh, right. The bureaucratic centre of the city, and after it became the imperial capital. Right. The funds were issued to sub-branches to carry out national policies. Interesting. The various ideas over those public funds always came together, and their was never an end to those trying to poke a straw into it, to suck it out like a mosquito. So interesting. Well, I think this analogy is basically saying there's never an end to people that are sort of trying to claim the ideas for their own, and they're trying to sort of they're trying to manipulate the ideas so that their own personal gain is the main thing that is benefited, really. Excess dividends, cordial patronage, profits for organisations that benefited themselves. Yep, that last one. At least I got some of it right, yeah. So what is a dividend? I can't remember. I've heard that word in business before, but I forgot what it was. I'm gonna search it up and then I'll probably remember what it is. Oh, yeah, that's yeah, I know that word. So basically a sum of money from the company owners to the shareholders. That did sound familiar. Those are a small percentage of the profits that are given to the shareholders. Cordial patronage. What the fuck is that? It's just giving me patronage. So patronage, like supporter. Financial or other support to a person. Right. So I'm assuming just sponsors. So excess dividends would mean... Hang on a second. That would mean the owners giving excess amounts of profits to shareholders. Well, I suppose the more profits owners give out to shareholders, maybe the more shareholders that buy. I don't really know. Hang on, I gotta... Right, so they substantially increase stock investing profits, provide an extra metric for fundamental analysis. Reduce over... Oh right, okay, so dividend payments reflect positively on a company and help maintain investors' trust. Yeah, and trusty investing things. Wait, hang on. Yeah, so just being in the market being high. Right, interesting. Many financiers approached and adhered to officials and politicians hoping to earn those gains. Oh, right. And the bureaucrats constantly indulge them. That's how Japanese corruption works. Ah, interesting. Right, so what these people do is they're basically like, it's a good cause, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to manipulate that good cause as much as they can for their own gain, really. No matter what happens, yeah. So what does indulge mean? Is indulge like encourage or... Oh, right, allow oneself to enjoy the pleasure of. Right. Interesting. That was interesting. So, these illegal pipes form bypass after bypass in Kasumigaseki, siphoning off public funds for their profit. Right, so even taxes people pay are just basically being sort of corrupt. Well, as a result of corruption, they're being... Like, all of those funds are just... how can I put it? The meaning of actually donating things, and the meaning of actually paying your tax is just sort of decreasing because these people are just using it for their personal gain. Illegal pipes. I suppose networks. To find and destroy such pipes is, of course, in the national interest, but eliminating illegal expenditures isn't as simple as all that. Yeah, definitely, yeah. There's also the issue of status as well. A lot of these financiers and politicians that actually do things like these, they're going to be very high in status. Maybe they're even going to be higher than the police. That's very difficult, I'd assume. There were important people. There were important people connected to those pipes, and when those people were investigated, a major political scandal takes place. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Oh, interesting. So just as much as investigating an important person can cause a political scandal. Well, I mean, there is a lot of, in politics, there are a lot of lies that are going around, so I'd assume the issues of trust, oh my god, I can imagine. Sorry, I just need to do something real quick. Right, there we are, sorry. Right. This one. And I'd assume because the scandal actually takes place, everybody doesn't want that, so I'd assume maybe that's why they are reluctant to actually investigate. The reason why the government doesn't investigate such illegal expenditures is not only to protect the vested interests, but also because they are conscious of the damage these scandals can cause politically. Yeah, definitely, yeah. What is vested interest? Is it interest collected by the means of public tax? That's my guess. Come on, internet, please. A personal reason for involvement in an undertaking. Oh, law. An interest, usually in land or money held in trust, recognised as belonging to a particular person. Right, okay. So law or land's protected to, covered by particular people, right. To put it more succinctly, what the fuck, succinctly, still what the fuck does it mean? To put it more succinctly, the government can't endure the pain of pushing pus out of a wound. Oh god. Ugh. It's actually kind of fair enough though, yeah. So interesting, so I think... So I'd assume the wound is actually the wound to the whole politics system, and then the pushing out pus. What is an analogy for that for? So I don't know. I don't want to think about it, honestly. The closer the exposed subject is to the top, the greater the pain faced by the government, and that affects the cabinet approval rating. Oh right. The closer the subject is to the core, the more extensive the damage to the heart. Right, so I'd assume with the core, oh, hang on a second, so Wakazaka's actually doing, yeah, that explains why he's like a needle, well, he's like an anomaly and with his other Nimi friend. They're not old. They don't belong here. I don't know. It's interesting that all the people there are older people though. So when it says the core, I'd assume the core of the country and then the heart of the country. I don't know though. Or maybe it's just like the heart, like to individual people's ones. The secret investigation Nagasaka was leading went as close to the heart as it got and could cause a collapse of the administration from shock. Damn. God, that really could have an implication then. So secret as well, interesting. Akazaka was tipped off that a huge amount of public funding was leaking out through an alumni organisation of the 7 imperial universities. So he and his colleagues had been conducting a secret investigation into the matter for a long time. That's actually really interesting, because you imagine if that's the one that Takano actually went to. I mean, very unlikely it is going to be the exact same one, but if it was, that would be really quite odd. Oh god, I don't know how she'd take that. That'd be really interesting if she realised that, like, not only the ones that have sort of completely halted her work are also the ones that are very corrupt. His target was tightly knit, but he learned the wife of one of the organisation's senior members bore strong resentment towards them after her husband was made their scapegoat and he managed to contact her. Brilliant. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant, yeah. And because of that, he had got on his hands on extremely important information. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, we're going straight to the police headquarters. Yeah, definitely. Good work, everyone. We've almost gathered enough clues. What Akazaka-kun has brought us is particularly shocking. You must have worked hard to get it. Great work. Well, just meet the right people and then you can definitely get more than the right outcomes. My god. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's either yawning or he's really humble. He wouldn't yawn at a meeting, no way. Thank you. A small meeting room was filled with boxes that were in turn filled with documents. Damn. A Bible was filled with cramped writing too. God, they must be working really, really hard to bust this mystery. But the only thing is, this is really important. I mean, this is government territory here. So, yeah. Oh, kill yourself. Oh, of course it was filled with smoke. A few of the investigators in the meeting room, which was also filled with smoke, were reading the documents intensely. That's my impression of them. Fair enough. God, so it's so big that they have to get they have to get more than one investigator. I'm assuming there probably will be, like, maybe 5 or more. It is a big matter, though. It just really shows you how big it is for when you see things like this. Their intimidating manner clearly indicated that they were police officers with a great deal of experience. Interesting. So were these people that are from different sort of offices, headquarters, than the other ones, I wonder? Akazaka was one of those men. Oh, right. Yeah, good. Good for him. I find it funny, Mamoru. That's literally protect in Japanese, isn't it? Isn't it? Hang on, I gotta search that. Mamoru Mini. Right. Yeah. It does actually. That's kind of funny. When he worked on the case of the kidnapping of Minister Inukai's grandson, he had been a rookie, but by now he was an experienced investigator, and that is bloody impressive. It really is. I mean, my God, we looked at how good his policing skills were just then. It really was crazy. After a knock on the door, an elderly man entered the room. Everybody straightened up all at once. Oh yeah, fair enough. I wonder if this is going to be Oishi. Sir, thank you for stopping by. Oh, stop with the mystery. Oh, this is the chief. Right, okay. Thank you. You don't need to stand. Relax. I brought a wonderful gift for you all today. Kano, you'll get to go to your son's parents' day meeting afterwards. Oh, so I'm assuming Parents' Day is like Japanese equivalent of Parents' Evening. That's kind of funny. Or maybe Parents' Day is like Bring Your Child to Work Day. I don't know that. I can't be bothered to search it up, but still. The meeting room was filled with sighs, tinged with exasperation and resignation. Oh God, so they've been probably working really, really hard on this case. Fair enough, though. It certainly wasn't because any of them hated going to Parents' Day. I knew it. I thought it was about time. Shit. So hang on a second, I thought Parents' Day was a good thing. Like, I'd assume just not being able to miss that is a bad thing because you miss so much. Akazaka's colleague complained. They had been so close to getting to the root of the issue where they had such strong evidence. Akazaka on this part wasn't too disturbed. This has happened several times in the past, and considering how hot the documents he obtained were, it was easy enough to predict. Because you're suddenly transferred to an... Oh, right, interesting. So that's... Yeah. I was kind of confused because I thought everybody had to go to the Parents' Day for a second, but no. Yeah. Oh God, well, let's just hope his son isn't a bad kid. Hope he doesn't lose hope in life. That's actually really a shame though, God. Akazaka has so much strong evidence. With the documents that has actually been given by the old wife of the old politician. This case was suddenly transferred to another department. That meant that their investigation ended here. Right. The new department was supposed to continue the investigation to dispose injustices, but that's never what happened. That's never happened once before. That's awful. So, their work, even though they're getting less of it, they're not going to be able to find the issue that is actually needing to be exposed. Well, that's really sad. was just an excuse. The investigation had been terminated because of pressure from above. Oh, damn. Yeah, so I'm assuming because of them getting really, really close to political territory, really, and just really, really high up ranks, they've been able to not do it. That's just insane, though. Because, I mean, I suppose if they are found out to be investigating, there are a lot of moles that are very experienced, so it could be possible. I mean, look at the mountain dogs, for example. That's a good example I like to always think of, even though it isn't really political at all, I suppose. Well, it kind of is, but still. Not really this sort of element of politics. It is very corrupt, though, let's be real. They were too scared. Damn it. What about everything we've worked for so far? Yeah, definitely. I really don't understand why they'd actually... It was just see... Oh god, it was just to see how much it hurt to push out the pass. They realised it would be too painful, so they decided not to treat the wound. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, fair. I just can't believe that like these people would actually be assigned tasks just for their work to go to waste. Because that is essentially what is happening here. Yeah, so I'm assuming for this, like, they would have too much of a bad implication if they did it. So they decided not to do it in the end and expose it. In that sense, their hard work wasn't wasted. Because of it, the investigation was terminated. Yeah, that's actually really interesting because they investigated so much and they did so well. Their investigation was the thing that could no longer happen anymore because of it. Yeah. Because I understood that, but his colleague wasn't yet mature enough to understand. Oh, yeah. Of course, Akasaka's sense of justice was displeased by this. Yeah, he felt frustrated with his superiors who had hesitated to expose the truth. Yeah, definitely, but he was mature enough to know not to say that out loud. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Well, that's what we have and hand it over to the end of it. Anyway, you haven't had a day off for a long time. You don't have to wait until 5 PM to leave today. Please go home and get some rest. That's really good. That's really good, but the only thing is, God, they must have been really working hard if they've had no days off. That's just horrible. The fact that, like, all of their work was just completely disregarded, really. I mean, I do find it really interesting, though. So I really do wonder what they're actually going to do once they've sort of organised, once they've got their work to, quote-unquote, the other side, you know, the other end. Maybe... it's either nothing's gonna happen, or maybe all the work and evidence that's been found is gonna be burnt. I really hope it isn't the second one, the latter. We'll talk about what stuff to do tomorrow. Also, don't forget to use up your vacation time too. Make sure you take a vacation and give a treat to your spouses. Oh, interesting. So this is potentially where Akasaka is potentially going to use this vacation time to go to Hinamizawa. Please come with me, that would be all. Yes, sir. Though his long secret investigation left a bad taste in his mouth with its resolution, he managed to earn a holiday until the next incident arrived. Yeah, definitely, yeah. It must be really hard to sort of cope with that. But the only thing is Akasaka. I mean, my god, he can cope with anything at this point. Well, I guess we'll do as he says. Everybody go home and get some rest. Yeah. If you go home that early, you might find out that your wife is having an affair. Oh god, that is not the right joke to make. I mean, that would have actually been kind of funny if it was anybody else but Akazaka. Oh god.
バカだな。
Damas,
お
you
前
don't
知
know
らないだろ。
anything.
赤坂さんとこは熱愛夫婦だぞ。
Oh, right, so I think he's told them a lie. Akazaka-san and his wife are madly in love.
毎晩別棟の公衆
He
電
calls
話
her
から
every night
ラブ
from
コー
a
ルかけて
public
る
phone
の
in a
知らな
different
いのか
building.
よ。
Wait, no, hang on a second, I forgot. This is the part where Akazaka, he actually listened to Rika and he realises the significance of her pleas, really. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so nice. God, that really is some
赤坂の
dedication.
ところはいいよな。
I am you, Akazaka.
うちの
My
女
wife is
房なん
pretty
て。
cold.
そう
Ha ha ha. Yeah, he really did. He really did sort of end up nicely, really. Akazaka smiled bitterly as he gathered the documents in his hands. One of the pages fell to the floor. It was a page from the huge pile of papers documenting illegal expenditures. They exposed the illegal expenditures of the Alpha. Oh, right. Interesting. That's actually really surprising. They exposed the illegal expenditures of the Alphabet Project, the research team, for the next generation of hardware in the Defense Agency. So hang on a second, with the research team in the next generation of hardware in the Defense Agency, that's not Docono's lot, that's the lot that's actually sort of, that's the new generation, if you like, the lot that Docono's lot have been sort of outlived by. I don't know. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I'm really surprised that the Alphabet Project was the one that was that corrupt. Wow. That really shows you how high the Alphabet Project is. It was entirely possible that this project was created in the first place for the purpose of funneling these illegal expenditures. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is an... I really do wonder. When he saw that paper, one thing caught Akazaka's eye. He picked it up, looked at it, and tried to remember. He's seen the word Hinamazawa, I bet. There was a list of people who illegally received public funds. Oh, interesting. There was also a list of retirees who were still very much in love with money. Oh, yeah, fair enough. So, retirees. Koizumi is not a person that would not apply to that description. There should have been no connection between these people and Akazaka. However, there was one thing that caught his attention.
入江診療所
Oh, the Irie Clinic. That's insane. So the funding that Koizumi... Hang on. That's nuts. Hang on a second. So you know Koizumi? I really wonder if he really was who he was saying that he actually was. There's no fucking way. Because the thing is, Koizumi was the only person that actually sort of was really, really enthusiastic in funding this clinic. Or maybe this could potentially be the new generation, you know, that really sus lot that Dagono actually got in the car with. Yeah, that's all we know about them so far. The EDA clinic. As soon as he said it, all sorts of memories resurfaced. Oh god, yeah. Yep, yes, the EDA clinic. That's actually really interesting. So the thing is about Dokono, she never knew. That's horrible. So the things, she never knew that she was actually being given illegal funds, but with those illegal funds, she has actually done research and she's built a lot that could be lost. That's really scary. That is really, really scary. But the only thing is, I don't really know if they can do anything about it, just because of, you know, the political what was the scandal? What's the word? Oh my god, what is it? Scandals. Yeah. Scandal. God, kill me. Yes, the EDA clinic. I can't believe that. I really wonder if this could potentially mean Koizumi is a bad guy, because, like, he's illegally giving people public funds without their knowledge. Maybe he doesn't know too. There are a lot of other things that it could be. Yes, the EDA clinic. When he was working with the case of the Minister Inukai's grandson abduction, he got into a shuffle with the suspects and became injured. He was taken to the local clinic. Yep. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. As you recall, the name of that clinic was the EDA clinic. Yeah. Yeah, he started to remember one thing after another. Yeah. His very first experience with wading into the mark. Oh, yeah. It was burnt into his mind like a fresh memory. Wow. And he could vividly recall everything that happened. His daughter was about to be born and he really didn't want to go to Hinamazawa. Yeah, definitely. He met Oishi, who taught him a lot of important things. Yeah, definitely. He also met a girl in that village. Yo, a fair Nah, I'm just kidding. Her name was Yes. Oh, interesting, Yes. Yes Hudadedika. Who is Yes Hudadedika? I only know Hudadedika. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was it. How long had it been? How old was she now? Oh my god, hang on a second. So, you really do wonder if this could potentially be the cause of Akazaka sort of seeing that Rika, because if the second he remembers, he'll remember the predictions she made. He will remember them, I'm sure. As he remembered her lovely smile, he also remembered the ominous prediction she made. Yep, brilliant. Maybe this is why he comes. Maybe this also happened in Minagoroshi, but the only thing is because he saw Rika and saw that she was actually alright, then he didn't really think anything was actually needed to happen. She predicted that if he didn't go back to Tokyo, something terrible would happen. Yeah. At the time, he took it as nonsense, but he felt something odd about it, as if it was a divine omen. Weird. I suppose maybe it was just the way she was saying it, and especially the way that, like, a tiny little girl has the voice of a fucking, like, soothsayer, prophecy guy, you know? God, this is weird. Then he had remembered Yukie, who was about to give birth. He became concerned that something terrible would happen to her. Yeah, but he couldn't just leave and go back to Tokyo. That was why he called her right away. He told her something that would happen. Oh, that's actually really interesting. So he never went back to Tokyo, he just straight up did that, yeah. Or was this... He told her to be very careful until we returned. Yukie had laughed and told him he was being paranoid. But that phone call indeed saved her from a calamity. That's nuts. I am actually really surprised about that. So that phone call, that's ridiculous. That's so vague though. I mean, just be careful. Like, no matter how many times you tell somebody to be careful, they always may make a mistake. But this actually had the implications that Dika sort of wanted. So he never actually went back to Tokyo, and yet he's still sort of. I'm just really surprised. I didn't know that was actually possible. I thought every time that he actually sort of believed Dika, he went back to Tokyo instead of calling. That's interesting. Yukiya had laughed and told him he was being paranoid. Yeah, he knows our syndrome moment. Nah, just kidding. But that phone call indeed saved her from a calamity. Yeah, definitely. Akasaka had found out about that when he visited her after returning to Tokyo. Yeah, definitely. A few days after his phone call, the janitor was seriously injured when he stepped on a loose tile on the stairs on his way to the rooftop. Yeah, definitely, yeah. And that was where Yukiya would have stepped on. She would have fucking died as well. It's interesting because I thought in the other worlds the janitor was the one that got caned before Yukiya did. I don't know. He also heard afterwards that Yukiya had a habit of going up to the roof for a walk every day. Yeah, that is not good. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and that has unintentionally saved her life. But because of his phone call, she had stopped doing it. Brilliant. God, that is so nice. His life has just changed so much for the better. It's just insane to think. If he hadn't called her, she would have been the one to step on the loose top. Exactly, yeah. In other words, Nika's prediction had been correct. Yeah, definitely. There was no proof, but Akasaka still believed that he was able to save Yukiya only because of Nika's prediction. Yeah, and I agree. Like, even people that know everything about Higurashi plot, they probably will be able to agree, you know? He intended to call and thank her for saving Yukiya. Oh, but he doesn't know her number, does he? But the busy days that followed put it out of his mind. Oh, right, so is he actually gonna call? Oh my god, that's gonna be so different for Nika though. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, it's Rika. She looks creepy though, I'm not gonna lie. It's just her eyes. The fact that her eyes are so long and her smile is so long, and the sort of, compared to her head, the proportions, they just make it look so creepy. And the fact that her head is literally the size of her body, that is just weird. Rika-chan. He wondered if she was still doing well, she was still smiling. Yeah. I mean, you would have really hoped it. I mean, you don't know though. You really don't know. She either could be or maybe she couldn't be, but in this world I think it's definitely likely that she is doing a lot better than normal. Wow, look at the... God, that is amazing, that black sky and that moon. That goes so well. Akasaka remember the sad prediction she made on the night under the moon, while still wearing that smile. Yeah, the weird one. That's right, she said something. She predicted someone would get killed on the night of the festival every year, and that on the 5th year in, she'd be the one to be killed. Yeah. That's right, he thought. That's right, he thought. She did say that. Yeah, definitely, yeah. The 5th year, that's this year. Yeah, definitely. The festival is... That's right, it's in June. So what's the time now? If you remember now, it happens on the last Sunday of the month. Oh, shit. No, it happens on the 3rd Sunday of the month. Oh, no. That's really bad. So hang on a second, if he actually remembers this wrongly, and then Dika could potentially be, you know, put at risk just because of this one sort of misconception. Oh, no. Because I can look at the calendar. It was June 1983. Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, I'm genuinely so happy that, like, Akazaka has thought of saving Dika. Although there was still some time, the death she predicted for herself was coming up. Yeah, definitely. The girl who'd predicted Yukie's accident also prophesied the mysterious incident would occur annually for the next 5 years. Yep, and it has. He probably doesn't really know much about Hinamizawa, but still, it has. If they'd actually been happening, then it would happen again this year. Yeah, and it does. I wonder if Oishi was still at the Okonomiya PD. Oh yeah, he's never retiring. If the annual incident she predicted was taking place, he would know. Yeah. God, I think he knows. In other words, he could confirm if Hidedika was going to be killed or not with a phone call to Oishi. Yep. But the only thing is, Oishi doesn't know. Nobody knows actually, apart from her. But the only thing is making Oishi sort of certain and sure that she could potentially be at risk. That's good. But also maybe a good driver to be a murder suspect, who knows? The girl who predicted her own death had muttered that she didn't want to die. Yeah, definitely. God. Yeah. Muttered? No. It was clearly a plea for help. Yeah. A young girl who was trapped in the fathomless, bizarre traditions of a village she couldn't escape had sought help from him, an outsider. Yeah. It's actually really funny that, like, this is so accurate though. She is trapped in the traditions of whatever Takano does, what she always sort of does with her corrupt mountain dogs, you know? All of the traditions of the Oyashi Osama curse always happening, stuff like that. She paid his reward in advance. In the form of... Yeah, in the form of foreseeing Yukie's accident. Yeah, so I suppose he needs to make it back to her, you know? He had to get to her. Yeah, he had to go save her. Yeah. A flood of emotions filled him up. He felt as though he had finally remembered something he was never supposed to forget. Yeah, definitely, yeah. That's right. He had to go to Hinamizawa. He had to save the girl who asked him for help. Oh, brilliant.
沖
So
宮
it's
署
actually...
でございます。
Oh, that's not Oishi. Hello, Okinomiya PD.
すみません。
Hello, this is... Is
そちらの刑
is
事課に
Cloud or Oishi
現
still
在も
working in your
大石
investigation
クラウド
department?
氏は在籍されておりますでしょうか。もしもいらっしゃっ
If
たなら
he is, may I talk
お
to
願
him,
いしたいの
please?
ですが。
失礼です
Excuse
が
me, may I ask who's calling?
どちら様でしょ
Oh
う
yeah,
か。
fair.
警視庁の
Is he telling us
赤
Akazaka
坂とお
from
伝え
the
くだ
police
さい。
headquarters? Yeah, from the police headquarters. Definitely something you don't want to mess with. Oishi was a very lively person, but he had been old even back then. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Maybe he had already transferred somewhere else, or he'd since retired. Yeah, you definitely think that, but no. He does not realize how dedicated Oishi is, especially the whole dam-related things, yeah. But if he was still there, he'd be happy to hear from Akazaka. Oh yeah, easily. He sure did have... Oh no, I missed it.
おいさん、
He sure did have a unique laugh. Yeah, fair enough. Oi-san,
外線から
there's a
お電
phone
話で
call for
す。
you.
東京
Someone
の
from the
警
police
視庁から
headquarters
で
in
すよ。
Tokyo. He must be really scared now. Just because of this. Just because of how big the police headquarters in Tokyo are, of all places. I mean, holy fuck. Biggest city, literally the capital city of Japan. And yet the police headquarters there. I mean, that really is big.
東京
Tokyo?
そりゃまた遠くからはるばるどちら様ですかね。はい、
Hello,
も
this
し
is
もし。
Yoshi. What? He's probably surprised.
こりゃ
Oh
懐かし
my,
い。
my, oh my.
そうです
And how have you
お元気
been?
してましたかな。
I love Akazaka does have a point though. He does have a nice laugh. It's so funny. Nah. I can never laugh like that. No way. I suppose I kind of do that. I don't know if you heard that. Oh right, okay. So that's the end of the chapter. That was the last thing I was expecting. Right, so I'm interested. Is this the end of the chapter, or are we... Right. Oh, okay, so we do actually have tips. Nice one. Right, that's really good. Because I thought they stopped doing tips for a second, and I was really scared. Because I really love reading the tips. Oh, I love this piano music so much. I've really developed a line to it. But yeah, Akazaka is actually visiting Namazawa now. Oh my god, that's going to be so fun to see. Oh, right, maybe Akazaka isn't. But this is Dika. Yeah, we're seeing really two sort of... We're really going to see like two sort of alternate plots that are happening time after time, really. It's going to be really cool to see how they sort of intertwine and how they meet. Oh, right. So it looks like the tip was just a bait. Right. Well, okay. I'm gonna go to bed, it looks like, then. Yeah, dude, that was actually really fun to read. My god. It really was surprising, just, like, everything we learned today. It was really bloody interesting, though. I really liked, like, especially, you know, the whole Akazaka-related thing. I'll tell you what I also found really interesting, just, like, the fucking backstory behind what the EDA Institute could potentially be doing. I mean, Jesus, dude. That stuff that the new company are doing, by the way, they're the new company, they make out to be so integrity related and they're so integrity based and so sort of anti-war based. I mean, I get that they are, but the only thing is, yeah, they definitely shouldn't be like, you know, just stealing money, maybe? God, that is going to be really unbelievable. I'm really going to be interested to see what's going to happen. If Hinamizawa's Due 1983 is going to be broken, then I wonder if after that, maybe they're going to find something to sort of combat that. Who knows? Oh, but that was actually really interesting. It's a real shame that there are no tips in Matsuribayashi. But yeah, I suppose to be fair, to make up for that, we have the console arcs. Oh my god, I'm excited for them. But yeah, I'm gonna be really interested for tomorrow, and I'm gonna be so interested for when Akasaka comes, because the thing is about Akasaka, Rika and Hanya, they definitely want him to be involved and want his protection. But the only thing is, they don't actually realise that he's coming here so much earlier. But they didn't last time, so maybe it is a little bit more expected. But maybe he comes earlier this time, who knows? And I'll tell you what, I really do wonder if, I just wonder about the whole Watanagasi thing, because he thought it was on the 4th Friday of the month, but it is actually on the 3rd Friday of the month. So I just wonder if that could potentially really complicate things. I don't know though. See what happens. Right, yeah, I really enjoyed today. It's going to be really interesting tomorrow. So yeah, see you then.